Peace, 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 peace. Right, so, peace, peace. Once you, see, what you have to understand is there's rebooting, the beginning, the opening, and then you have the conclusion. And so what I'm saying is, now that you've reached the level where you're not insulin sensitive anymore, and you're not fueling the system on sugar, but you're fueling the system on fat, and your body's accustomed to one meal a day, and you float the hours around 23 sometimes you're at 12, sometimes you're at 16, but you're proficient at fasting. Fasting starts to mean the moment you start eating. So how long can you go? How long do you let the digestion rest? So you should give your body about, well, I'll say this, 33 hours is actually the ideal move from food to eating again. On the level of, it takes about that long for the food to get out of you, or move towards leaving the physical composition. And that can fluctuate because vegans and raw food take even less time to move through the physical composition, be absorbed. So say if you are a true raw food eater, if you're eating mostly raw, remember the lessons has told us to eat raw a long time ago. If you were growing your own food, you was pretty much eating a lot of raw. Because we had to have our own land and farm, and that's part of it. Part of it is being a farm, to have grow your own food. Be responsible for your food. It's your energy, you need it. If you need it, why aren't you responsible for bringing it to yourself? That was just the logic behind the science of you standing on your own square. From this point on, we're going to correct all errors. Old school say, I'm going to take the devil off my planet. So they, inch by inch, square by square, they remove him off their planet. So they get to the point where now they have their own farm, they're growing their own food, they have their own vehicles, probably went to the level of incorporating the name Justice or Law Incorporated. Underwear Incorporated. You know, they do stuff like that, and then you can put your motor vehicle under the corporation's name. You can, I mean, if you even wanted to, you could buy real estate in your corporation's name, make it a trust so it could stay there, and connect it with who you want to receive the dividends, and make a little estate. Just teaching them how to pass money forward, or how to pass financial literacy forward. Yeah, we all know 1914. And it's going to take time for all that to take place. More time than your physical body has. put it that way. We're going to see what we see, but not what you think you're going to see. So anyway, all of that is just to get you to a point where you can understand, get on your own square. You make that and make that all happen in you, on your physical body. That's your motor vehicle of life. Fix that. I'm fixing mine. You can fix yours. I know it works because I did it to me. And I watched the whole group, the test group said we would be our own laboratory. We would test ourselves. We would keep our notes. And most people don't want to reveal because it's dangerous revealing certain things like that because it has something to do with in the black and in the red as far as Federal Reserve notes and monetary funding. I mean, it could go deep into mind control, but people let people control their mind. You don't have to be somebody in control of you. You let them get in control of you unless you're a child. If you're a child, that's different. That doesn't count for them. But when you're an adult, and people can't just do what they want to you. And then, I hate to say it, but some people are in a position as an adult where they're not in control of their physical body either, but they still in control of their mind. They're just not in control of their physical body. We have so many brethren up north, as we would say up north, because really the prison complex system has so many of us in there. And I'm just saying, we in every walk of life. We're in politics. We're in prison. We're everywhere in the American system. There's places where we are not at, or the places they won't let you get at. But other than that, you would have assimilated into every part of their society and helped them grow, and because that's how you are. But for some reason, they don't want you to totally assimilate with them. And so they put stumbling blocks in front. And so that's okay. We want to keep yourself. That's how you preserve in your reality. We have to know that that's in place and that that's happening so we can adjust to that. But we are still kind of operating on the thing that, everything going to be all right. Now that shit and hit the fan, it's like this generation of people are the same generation of people that was in the 60s. They're the grandparents now. Those people, grandpas and grandma. And yeah, they pretty much grandpa and grandma in these days. Maybe a few of them will have younger children that they had later in life, but so they have daughters that are young, and still in their teens and shit, getting out of their teens. But very much the new children here, they never saw a day without the internet. They were born after anything after 98, and regular people who are the bread basket of country. Just regular lamb's wool people who don't have knowledge of self. They just living either good or bad or in between, trying to make it and whatever. They're the ones that you don't really see in the news because they don't do anything but just try to make it. That's where they can. They pretty much stay on the legal side of it, but they do all the hustling that you can do on the legal side. All of those regular people, right, them, and they all got lands with all of them, that group, which is still a subgroup of the full lamb's wool, that's all over the planet Earth. That is the group that is 30th degree parallel north, 30th degree parallel south, tropical Capricorn, tropical Cancer equator. And they had lamb's wool. And they circumnavigated that whole cipher was where they made it a world economy. And it was on an economic scale that they have yet to reach. You've seen the ending of it when Mansa Musa is made manifest. That's near the ending of all the spectacular things that we see now. That's the ending of it. Great empires. I mean, I hate to say it, but it wasn't just a global economy, but it was a solar economy, a galactic economy. The connection is made manifest through the Son of Man. And from the Son of Man, you can see that the connection is the sun. The sun is giving you energy in one way or another. You're trying to absorb it. And if you do not absorb it right, you cut the time span. If you absorb it correctly, you increase the time span. So, if you want to increase the time span because you have been subtracting from your time span as time has been traveling. And still, with pharmaceuticals and everything, it's just still 7 billion of us. Right? It's still 7 billion people on the planet Earth. At the end of the day, through all the war and everything, we going crazy. Right? Killing here, killing there. This is just our plight when you're looking at lamb's wool in the wilderness of North America. That plight. But the plight is all over the planet. There's always that person, that's the people who don't really have a lot of resources, are the ones getting smashed. And the smashing goes in a caste system up till you get to the point where you're removed from the crushing. You can't even be crushed that way. You're over here. They have to get you another way. Right? They have to come with SNL scandals and all that, and that still doesn't get you physically, right, if you're on that level. All right. So you understand what I'm talking about? There's levels to this. Where you're at, if you're fitting in the lamb's wool, then you know where your level is. Because just because they're a politician, doesn't mean they don't feel the lamb's wool plight. They have to feel it because it permeates everywhere. The suppression of the lamb's wool and those who associate with the lamb's wool is more so than those who associate with crushing the lamb's wool. That's really what's happening. So think of the lamb's wool. And if you're the lamb's wool, you're here. Look at your hair. That way you... Because anything else is not a good description of who we are. And they be calling us all kind of stuff. And we be calling ourselves trying to get an identity. Well, I'm really this and I'm that. And okay, and then some people might try to go with the scripture and come up with names that are closer to ancient. Yes, but that won't make everyone want to do that and use that name to describe themselves, because they're not going to feel like they're that. Because we're so many tribes and families and levels of people, and I learn something new every day about how the levels of what people are, no matter what it is. People are complicated, and the universe is even more complicated, but it's simplicity in all the complication. The simplicity is lamb's wool. That lamb's wool, I'm talking to y'all. That's the simplicity. You know if you have lamb's wool or not, even if no one else knows that you have it, and that grandma has it, and that kind of... Some people might say, well, I don't have lamb's wool because I'm still caught up in propaganda, and my mind still works as if state education is the truth. And that's really what history is about. What the media teaches that it is. Regular places like Smithsonian and all that. It's really that. No, it's not that. Don't listen to them. They have no idea what they're talking about. Real history. If you really want to look at some real history, look at DNA. They can't fix that. Change that. Look up that. Look that up. Look up that lamb's wool. Look that up. You'll see what I'm talking about. And you'll see it's everywhere. Lamb's wool that is everywhere. You are the lamb's wool, and then as it goes next to the next level, who's the next? It still starts going where what they would look at today is black, brown, I guess you could say red, yellow. But red to me is just a mixture of the black, brown, and the yellow, and the red, and all of those different ways they try to make it as a race, and then they use that to make the color, and then because they're trying to separate the Asiatic. That's all it is the Asiatics and the Europeans on the planet Earth. Which one are you? Are you Asiatic? Or are you European? So in modern day, they might say, well, it's Asiatic, black, brown, red, yellow, white man. Right? If everybody's from planet Earth, then we all Asiatic, right? We all got an Asiatic. It all goes back to the Earth. The physical body of every one of those so-called colors on Earth. Black, brown, red, yellow, white. Right? All of those go back into the Earth when the physical composition ceases to what? Function. Y'all, there you are. You all falling back in, right? And you all live on Earth. And even if people are trying to live other places outside of Earth, the bulk of our 7 billion are right here. You can talk all the fantasy and all the reality all in one, because it all is mixing together. And you just have to see which is which, right? If you want to go into those realms of reality, dimensions, climbing the ladder. Eventually you get to the point where you're trying to figure out what's good with Andromeda, what's good with Orion's belt, like that. Alright, so why the ancients are talking about that a lot, right? I mean, a whole lot. It gets to the point where they got whole cities built to that, whichever constellation they bear witness to, right? So, what do you think they was doing? They couldn't have been doing those spooky shit, not building that they built to represent the constellation. No. See, now you're thinking on the colonizers level of thinking that when those people came running out as the colonizer, I'm gonna conquer everything. This is all gonna be mine. That's how they came out. So you gotta look at it from that perspective, right? You gotta see what the hell was going on. They were trying to take it over. I'm gonna take over, and then it's gonna be mine. Alright. Caught the world by surprise. You had good strategies. You did it. You did it, right? Who's running the planet right now? You telling me that the black, brown, red, yellow, white, you pick which one you think is running the shit. The planet, pretty much. Like, got the economy locked down and armament locked down, and I influence things, and which one. So even if you say the big countries like America, and then all the ones that's in the UN and all that, now you look at the numbers. You tell me who's running shit, right? And you'll say, yeah, well, they pretty much running it. All right, so now we all know. Now get Machiavelli the Prince. That's the next hit. Bam, go to Machiavelli the Prince. I'm gonna read that one because you're at that level to do that. You should go and check that out because that's what they should be doing if they're doing it. If you at the level where you running your shit and it's your empire and you're running it, you really have it pretty much going. So you should be the father level or a grandfather level, and dude, that's the most important time when you should have been. You should be the Jedi Master by then. See, today's society, because they have you, they can't stop. I want to put it to you this way. Listen, they cannot stop the light and the rays of the sun from hitting you. And they can't stop you from actually eating the right and exact food that is giving the sun to your physical body. They cannot stop that. They stop your access to it, not that they stop it from getting to you. So how do they stop your access to it? Well, they entice you into the grocery stores and all that. So once you walk in that den, you have to make an adjustment that it's not just nature giving you food and you thinking that the government has got your back. The government will go with whatever the person who has the best lobbying power. The government will go with them because it was designed by those people that could do that, to do that. The people who designed this form of government weren't broke. And they were they were educated people. They weren't illiterate, uneducated, didn't have any science. They were mathematicians and politicians and lawyers and aristocratic families and the trust fund children breaking off from the family line. We gonna make our own thing and all that. That's what was happening. But it was still on the same earth. They just didn't see it that perspective. It's almost like people are doing like, this is mine, but we're all here. How is it yours if we all here? Because they can take it. That's how. And this is why things like on a physical level develop like martial arts and things. And this is why, because people had to protect themselves from the bully, per se. Here comes the bully. Most times you find these people that are really good in the martial arts, and it's because some bully pushed them to that, unless they grew up into that. As that's part of their tree, we have to have the greatest martial arts children. Physically, biological as well as, they taught, these are my students, and like that, right? So, from that perspective, people do that themselves with their children and everything. They love their children. They want their children to be the greatest part of themselves, whether it's their biological children or the children they raised. Doesn't matter. With the lamb's wool, it definitely doesn't matter. They'll suck it all in. If the European colonizer that rules the American system of justice now, and the politicians, and really runs the American government, if they didn't want the state to be stepping on your head the way it's stepping on it, it wouldn't. They allow it to happen. They could control it all. And so, since you know now that they're letting it happen, they're not doing it, but they're letting it happen. How do I let it happen? All right. If someone does a crime, and the state and the city and the feds do not prosecute, then the people who actually do the physical crimes, whether it's whistled or not, but the ones who actually physically go and do it, those Manchurians that into the dog whistle and the programming, it don't have to be deep for Manchurian. You could be Manchurian candidate just by them already influenced your brain and how you think. You think that the story for Lamb's Wool and the story for European blonde-haired, blue-eyed, you think that story is the truth. And you use that story to be a tiki member or whoever that wants to be the race savior of their race and all of that crazy shit they be talking about. Them people, because they don't care about you if you in their race and you ain't with that. You could get it too. If you not a race saver, you could get it too. So if you just saying, well, I'm just going to live off the neutrality of that. Yeah, well, that wasn't a neutrality of it. Might have been, that's how that Las Vegas thing went down. You gotta be not down with it too. So either you down with being on Earth, or, see, that's where the conclusion comes into. Are you down with being on Earth, or are you down with anti-Earth? Are you an Earthling? I bet all the one-cell animals and the insects and all them will be down with me saying, yeah, we down with Gaia because these people here trying to kill us too. They know it's the same people who's got a war on us. They got a war on the one-cell animals, the insects. They're trying to wipe them out too. They sterilize the soil. Them people. It's the same motherfuckers. In the hood, it's the same motherfuckers doing it to them. They doing it to me. It's the same people. They just use different vehicles to get at you, but it's the same structure. Coming for your head. And you letting it come. Doing just everything that they want you to do that lets them come for you. You can have them off your planet in I say by the time you got knowledge yourself, if you went according to the lesson, by 3.5 years, this should almost be totally off your physical composition if you had all of the jewels and you really knew how to apply each one. It only take that long. And don't think that people didn't have all the Jews that knew how to apply it. Even back in the 60s, they had them all. They had all the Jews. They had a better condensed form of it than we got now. They watered it down for us so we could digest it better. They was getting straight up meat in the opening. Bow, just like that. Here you go. Then it became structured like you see it is now. But in the beginning, it wasn't structured like this. Different great masters got together and did it to their own, or they did it together. But this is what you get now. You have it now. And people gave their lives so that this information is at the level that it is now. It's in this viral form. Can't stop it now. It's not no one person that has this. You just have to look and see. What is the foundation to all of the knowledge of self groups that's truly knowledge of self? And it's got something to do with food. They always start off cleaning your food up. Like, dude, stop eating the European fast food restaurant, Wall Street dietary laws. Don't use those commercial ruling laws on how you're supposed to eat. That's just to help their bottom line. Don't pay that shit no mind. They're all inside. Their doctors, all of their shit is together. They got a well-oiled, mechanized machine. Pharmaceuticals, they got doctors. They got people they send to school to learn biochemistry and everything. They got the top of the line scientists. You can believe you could go to their schools and learn top of the line shit, and that's what fucked them right there. All of us were young enough that we went to school. Because once we got 120, the next thing is, gotta go to school. If I'm gonna really take this shit to the next level, I wanna see the Wisdom Build Destroy degree on college level in my brain. I gotta go to college. Study biochemistries and all the different cell structures. We're going to go into agriculture. You're going to understand what the soil is doing with all of the fauna, the life in the soil. You're going to see it in the water, in the oceans, as well as in the lakes. The one-cell animals that are the foundational structure, organic and inorganic, at that level. And then you understand that, oh man, everything is earthling. It's organic, and Gaia is alive. She's not the way they teach you in school. And you really can't do anything to her. She could do something to you. But you can't really do anything to her. What little bit you doing, you might mess up the fauna and all that, the ecosystem or whatever. But that ecosystem is designed to help you get the sun to your physical composition. That's all you're doing. So that you could deal with enlightenment on this level. Enlightenment, to get to enlightenment on the physical plane is a great achievement. Because the physical body will keep you on the earth. And now you can have a ground, you can have a anchor per se. What do you think? It's just you're supposed to born, have a baby, die, run around doing all this crazy shit, going to movies, and that ain't real life. That's just physical use of time. Information, bring information into the physical body. That's a great use of time. Adding on the foundation, a body of accumulated facts. So accumulate facts at all given moments. Always bringing data in. That's the achievement. You can do that right in one spot. Bring the data in. Your eyes do it, your ears do it. Automatically you're doing it. You're just not using it, filtering it, and watching it. Subconsciously, you bring in all the data and it's all there. Wherever you went, you absorbed it all, good, bad, or indifferent. So it can be done. But if you like at the level where you're saying, well, I've been doing my right, so now you're here now. We all pretty much got here at the same time. We're all pretty much at the level where we're not dealing with grain. So, because we made the adjustment, right? All right, look, we didn't have farms. We hadn't come up out of the hood yet. But we was in control of our Federal Reserve notes at a level where we could control what we eat, right? Some of us are microgreening now, or whatever. We working out good. The muscle mass is increasing. We see the strength coming, right? The cuts are there. Muscle mass is increasing at a level where I didn't even know it was going to be that good, right? So you already see that, and then you see body fat is decreasing, and inflammation is pretty much out of everyone who had it. If they activated the manifestation, inflammation is almost at a zero. Those who didn't, we see that too, but that happens. Everybody comes to class, doesn't make an A, but that doesn't mean we close the door. We let them fail. That's their prerogative, but they got something out of it. Even when you got an F, you still had 65. So you did something, you got something out of it. Everybody can live from it. You could be at the bottom, but of course, if you're going to indulge in the colonizer's food, then you must indulge in the colonizer's pharmaceuticals. I'm going to keep it real with you. Listen to me. If you are going to indulge in the pharmaceutical business, as far as buying the medicine and all that, you're going to stay inside of the dietary laws that he gave you. You're not going to be able to jump out of it that way. You have to jump out of it by not eating synthetic food. Food that you think is food that's really synthetic. It looks like food, but it's not food. And it's made to look like food through your five senses. It tricks you. They make it look like food and taste like food. But on a genetic level, on a cellular level, on a mitochondria, the cells, what are they doing to that when they go to their final state of vitamins, minerals, fats, protein? That's what the body needs. Doesn't need anything else. It wants only that is what it wants. It's tricking you. You don't want no donut. You just associate when it asks for fat, you associate fat in your brain when the stomach is telling you, your brain, what it needs. And when it gets to you, your consciousness of picking what you're going to put in it, your brain has been tricked into believing that the donut is glucose. It's a synthetic glucose, though. It's not like you went and got an apple off a tree. It's not that kind of glucose. It's synthetic is the only way I can tell you. And so now you're putting the synthetics in you. And you think it's food because everybody's doing it. Everybody's eating at the donut store. We all eating it, right? Can't be that bad if the government lets everybody do it. Dude, it wasn't designed for it. The government is just an entity. It's not really a person. People are there doing it. And they just go within those rules and regulations that their ancestors, as far as 1776, left the rules for them. They set it up. If you follow this, it'll keep rolling. And they all made it roll, and it's working. It's been rolling on it. It's rolling on its own. You just jump in the slot. Get on while it's rolling by. Get on. That's how they getting on. And they let you try to get on, they kick you off. Get off. You don't get to roll on. You gotta stay down there and do what you gotta do. You ain't rolling on our wheel. That's what's happening. So after a while, you persisted, and some of y'all ain't got on the wheel. Y'all in there too. You trying to fix it from within, you're saying. But you should help the people. We're in the position to help. Why aren't we helping the people? We don't want to help them. We want to rule them. See? You got the wrong concept. You want to fucking help them. They want to rule them. And you up there with the rulers trying to act like you want to help. They're going to kick you off. Or you're just going to be ineffective. They like you and they let you live, but you can't do shit. You just think they let you do your little project. Ass doesn't mean anything. This machine is so strong and awesome, you can't fucking stop it till it's ready to stop. It has its expiration date too. All of those wheels did. But they'll just keep rolling till the expiration date is up. So what are you supposed to do? If you want to get it off of you, let it roll by. It'll go right by. That's how it works. Don't resist the forces too much. It's pulling you towards it. Go to it. If it's rolling by, you let it roll on by. Okay, now get back to doing what you gotta do. See what I'm saying? That's how you do it. And once you do that, you come to the realization that, yeah, I don't have a farm, but I sure as hell could grow some food in this apartment. You can't do it. Might not be enough to sustain the whole thing, but you want to learn the understand soil, damn everything else. Understand soil. If you know the soil, you'll be able to grow anything. So when they say people got a green thumb, they was understanding the soil before they knew they could understand it. They already had the thumb. They knew how to treat it. They gave it attention. So you had people like that. People like that they're custodians of the planet Earth. There's people that are like that. The ancients called them the custodians of, and they said the custodians took care of the earth. They were nature people. They could deal with the earth, and the earth dealt with them, and they loved each other. And she gave them plenty of green and all kind of other colors that were coming from the earth, right? And what was good and what was bad was based on digestion. So you digest the food that is right and exact for your fauna. You can find that out, but first you can't hardly figure out anything if you're still putting the poison in you. And right now, at one time, maybe Western food wasn't so bad. It was a different era where they was dealing with agriculture, even though they was tearing up the land then. But they was tearing it up differently. But they was making dust bowls and all that. So the agriculture, to me, that came out of Europe was never good. I never thought it was good as a people. The land rule always said it wasn't good. Go look at looking at history from when he wrote it in his possess. Look at the other side. They kept records of what was going on as it was falling, the empire was being eroded by the colonizer. That's exactly the kind of words they used. And the colonizer is eroding the environment. That's what's making it hard to expel him, is how they pretty much, because it got to a point that it was almost like it was too late. When they figured out what was happening, it was too late. It was already happening. I'm not talking about coming down from the Mediterranean. I'm saying when it was over here, when they figured it out over here from Alaska to Chile, when they were getting attacked in between the Tropic of Capricorn, the Tropic of Cancer, and the 30th degree, on each end when they were getting hit there, because that's when they was really getting hit at the most at the start. Then it went down towards the equator, but in the beginning it was right that part. And so when they were getting banged, they didn't really join on. They, as a group or whatever, as Asiatics, they didn't do anything. They let different Asiatic groups handle him group by group. By the time they figured out he was going group by group, he got to your group, it was too late. He was already grouping you up. He was banging you in the head. You couldn't beat him now. He had the power on you. You let him hit the upper hand, it was too late. He already had a foothold. He was never getting him out. He was going to have to play his hand out to get to the point where we're at now. So now you hear, how you get the devil off my planet, divine. Look at the lesson. The first thing it says is, I blame these people who giving you knowledge of stuff. Y'all know that you're supposed to teach them how to do a 3-day fast, which comes every end of the month. Every 28-day cycle, you should be going into a 3-day fast. And you eating one meal a day. So your one meal might consist of an 8-hour window. The longest I seen the 1 meal a day was the 8-hour window is the biggest window. So you had 8 hours to consume enough calories in the form of vitamins and minerals. Those will always be pretty much together. The micronutrients and vitamins and minerals, you're going to see those together. And usually fat and protein is pretty much together. They're not really separated from each other that way, not properly in nature. I don't care if it's plant-based fat and protein or it's animal-based protein, fat and protein. I always see it together. If you're going to get macadamias, it's together, right? Walnuts, it's together. Cashews, it's together. Where is it separated at? Even if you're saying I want sugar, which is not refined sugar, I'm talking about nature's sugars. And so if you go into nature's sugars, what's the first thing you're going to find? You're going to find that cell wall, which is going to be in this fibrous form, which is going to go immediately and help the microbiology in your gut. You're going to see the vitamins and minerals are going to be in the juice. It's pulled from the earth when it was a plant, and it went into the plant, and the plant made a fruit from it. It made it from pulling all of those different minerals out of the earth, from all the different microbiology that's in the earth that's doing what they're doing, that's creating that circle of life. You've seen it on Lion King, the circle of life, right? Where are you at in that circle? Have you pulled yourself out of the circle and now you're a synthetic? Or are you part of the organic and inorganic? We are that too. We're both too. We're organic and inorganic. We're the whole material. Everything. The cell structures. They're all there with us. You getting it from you need it. We're all one cipher. But the planet has gone through, based on regular, go to school. We know it's more if you go into the lessons, because you start talking about 25,000 year cycles and a 35,000 year cycle. Yeah, there's more. But there's less when it comes to time frame. So how many cataclysmic extinction events have happened on the planet already? Even based on their small thinking of Darwin and all that, they think it's at least 5. Okay, well, the planet's still here, all 5 of them. It looks like it went barren and then shit just came right back, right? Okay. So that shows you right there, boy. You could say, we don't need this, what you need. You definitely need the green. You have to have the green. The green is more important than any other thing. Nothing is more important than the green. The green is like the foundation to our existence on the physical plane, because if there's no green, we definitely not going to be around good. It's going to be problems. It's going to be horrible, because I don't know how you're going to eat with no green. And if you can't eat because there's no food, you're going to see in like a little while it's not going to be pretty. I don't care how many millions of dollars people have. Believe this, there's nothing more important than food. It ain't those $1,000,000. They just use that to trick you into thinking that that shit is important. At the end of the day, the main shit that people really need is food, clothing, and shelter. They need those. They don't really need anything else. All that other shit is entertainment. They could be entertaining themselves by fasting. But you can't fast if you don't have food. You ain't fasting. That's when that's when you can discover how your body really works. It'll work itself to fix and hook and heal and do things so that you can go get food. It'll make it accessible for you to get food, because it knows that the earth will give you food unless they're trying to stop you from having a way to get to the food. That's what I keep saying. They're cutting off your access, like the internet. They can't stop the signal. They stop you from getting the signal, but the signal is still flowing. If you snatch it out the sky without them, you can do it. People do it. They snatch it out the sky without them. They don't like it. They find out that you doing it. They coming for you. I ain't telling you to do it. I'm just saying that it's being done. Not it has been done. It's being done. Shoot, they don't care. They'll hack in. There's always somebody doing something to try to equalize themselves with nature, because everything's supposed to really be free. They're not supposed to stop you from receiving food, clothing, and shelter. Like, food comes first. Like, how do you stop people from eating? Because I stopped letting the planet produce the food on its own. Because she does it on her own. It don't need you. You stopping it from doing it. It does it on its own. Everything between the 33-degree north parallel and 30-degree south parallel produces food. And everything. Its ecosystem is equally right and exact, and it knows what it doesn't need you. You're a hindrance. You're like stopping it from doing what it's supposed to do. So if you want to stop it from doing what you're on the 10% side. If you're on the 5% side, you're the one trying to teach the people, the 85%, what they need to do to get the devil off their planet to whatever degree they want him off. Doesn't matter. You only want 10% of him off. I should get that little 10% part of your 90, of your 100% that he's controlling. You want to fix 10% of your physical body or physical thoughts or whatever. Whatever degree is degrees in this shit. So you can pick whatever level of it that you like within you being, because it's sad. There's 5% in the 5%, there's 10% in the 5%, there's 85% in the 5%. That's the way, just like in the 85, there's some 5% of the 85. That they the 85, but they the most conscious of the 85. And they're the ones that know the lot in the 85s, and they help to keep the 85s down. And then you got just the 85s out of the 85s. So it's working at the same. In the 10%, they got the same, got 10% that's 5%. They 10%. They in there with the 10%. They was born in that. They in that. Their genetic code is the 10%, but they rejecting it. And they like getting the information out. Like, this is what's going on. You gotta ask somebody on the inside. Think of it that way. So it's nothing as they like to say in knowledge itself, is not really absolute that way. It's almost like you see the truth and falsehood strangely mixed. That's the best way I can give it to you. The truth and falsehood strangely mixed. So if you have knowledge of self, you see it too. You say, oh, that's the truth and falsehood strangely mixed. And you just grab the best part and preserve that for yourself and keep it moving. Alright, so with that, I'm out. Peace.